Good morning, Canadian Yarn Herd. My name is Alyssa, and today's just a quick daily project. I would like to say, well, those behind me like normal. Today, what we're going to be making is a door stopper. Now, I do have one. I should have grabbed it. I didn't even think of it. I'll show it at the end. Basically, you're going to be making two balls. That's why I call them door balls. That is my name for them because I will show you later on in the video. I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam and we'll get started. So I came up with this idea because, frankly, when it came down to it, I had a door that never stayed open. God, probably 15 years ago, and I couldn't get it to stay open. And I started with just putting that in front of the door to stop it. And then I was constantly in and out of the room, drove me nuts. So I decided I wanted to have something that moved with the door. It does work on carpets. I have a carpet up here. I will show you when I show it. When I'm done, I'll show you how it works on my door. So I am going to start showing you what we did, what I used. I did have this yarn. It is Craft Smart, as you can see. The color is 24. It is a 4 medium yarn. It recommends a 5.5 millimeter hook and a 5.5 needle. Now, I do not know if you can get this anymore. I do not even know how old this is anymore. I mean, to be honest, it has 244 yards in it, and usually you don't get that. So I imagine it's a pretty old ball of yarn. So it is just an acrylic. Let me see if I can see it here. Yeah, 100% acrylic. So you're going to start with a magic circle. And you're going to chain 2. Now you're going to do 6 single crochet in this circle. 1, just tighten that up a bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I do find you do want to have that tail come out like it did. And you want to make sure you're near the end when you do it so you don't get tangled or twisted. So then you're going to slip knot in the top here and you're going to pull through. Now, your next row is going to be a fully increased row, which means you're going to single crochet in each and every stitch. Now, this is a stitch. So you're going to single crochet there, and then you're going to do a second single crochet in there. And you're going to do that all the way around. And that is your second row, technically. Now, I do recommend using for filling these, because you're going to have a filler for this. I have a big bag of chickpeas beside me that I'm going to use, and there is a reason I do recommend chickpeas, kidney beans, something of a larger nature. I know I have made these with a chenille yarn, which is very easy, but you do use a larger hook generally. And because of that, now I'm going to darn in my end, because if you are a returning viewer, you will know I hate ends. And if you are a new viewer, yes, I hate ends. They get in the way. You can accidentally grab it. It can really mess up your project. And your little loop can always come undone on you if you're not careful. So what I like to do is go around those first stitches all the way around. Pull it tight so you know it's tight. You really want to have, like I said, a 4 or even a 3.5 hook for this, because you really don't want to see too much on the inside. Now, if the only thing you have is rice and you still want to make this, you can do that easily. My recommendation would be get some pantyhose, cut off the foot, and fill your little ball when you get there. So now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. You're going to single crochet in 1, and then the next one will be an increase. I do recommend using the nylons if you're going to use a smaller type bean, rice, whatever you're going to fill this with. Now, there is something else I am going to call this. This would make a very good hacky sack. Now, I don't know if anybody who watches me is aware of what that is, but in the 90s, they were everywhere. This might be a little full for a hacky sack, but I don't think it's bad. And as you can see, I didn't put you can see into the little white beads. I had little white beads for this one. I think they were navy beads. So if I wanted to, I could go down a half a size or a hook size more, and you probably wouldn't see that. However, because this is going to be a doorstop to me, I'm not too worried about it. But if you don't know what hacky sack is, it's a ball made of beans that people used to kick in the air. There is a Big Bang Theory episode where they think Sheldon's creating a wormhole, and what he's really doing is playing with a hacky sack in a school room. That is a hacky sack that he's playing with. It's something that, like I said, in the 90s was everywhere. If you're interested, like I said, I would make it with a bit smaller of a hook. Now this row you're going to increase again, so you're going to 1, 2, and then increase. So you're always going to try and have more stitches in between each increase. That's how this is going to work. And then you're going to increase here. Now you don't want to go too many rows up. I think on this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows, so it will be 1 more row. This is my increase. 1, 2, and then increase. So this is gonna have kind of multiple uses. And like I said, if you don't actually know what hacky sack is, by all means check it out. It's something that used to be done in school. High schoolers used to play with it. Young kids used to play with it. It was just something that, I think it was the 90s version of a fidget spinner, to be fully honest. And it turned into how many bounces could you have it go up in the air. So now this one will be 3 stitches in between. So 1, 2, and 3. And then increase. And you're going to do that all the way around the row. Now, I did want to say, if you're a new viewer, thank you very much. I do appreciate you coming and showing up and watching my channel to see what I do, which is mainly Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I do project video, or I do daily updates, and I try to show how long a project can take to some degree. I mean, you may get a 20-minute video. I may have taken 2 to 3 hours to do it, but generally it's an easy, quick, done in a day kind of project. The daily updates allow me to show you how long a cardigan can really take, or if something project will take all day long, like 8 hours, I will let you know in the video. I have seen people who are just astounded by how long some of this stuff can take. And I think about all those TikToks, and they make it look so quick and easy. And I'm trying to put a bit more of a realistic spin on how long some of this stuff can take. So even if you're not interested in doing it, but you enjoy watching it, you can have appreciation if someone in your life does do this. You can understand, wow, that blanket could have taken them a month of their life to do. It's happened. So now that you're done that row, you're going to have a row. How many rows did I do before I started decreasing? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 rows. So you're going to do 5 rows of not increasing and not just straight single crochet all the way across. If you want to, what you can do here is you can put your stitch marker right there, and now you know you've got 5 rows from there. I can see that that's an increased spot, so I know that that's where I can count from. But a lot of people, stitch markers are good for the beginnings. I did want to say on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do project videos, like I said, so you can see pretty much what I do. A quick project that you can do in an evening. Might take you a couple of days if you're not, you know, straight sitting down and working on it. Might take you a few days, and hey, it is what it is. No biggie. And if you are a returning viewer, I do very much appreciate you, and I thank you for coming back. I do want to say sometimes I may repeat that. It's because I've done either 4 or 5 videos in a day. I have no idea if I've repeated it. I have no idea if it's in a video. I do apologize. It's just sometimes this gets very confusing. So that is what you're going to do for the next 4 rows. I'm going to pause so I can do that because I don't think you need to watch me ramble on for 4 more rows. And then I'll show you what happens when we start to decrease. I'll be back in a second. So there's my 5 rows. Now if I was going to put them in nylon, this would be where I put the nylon in. But because I'm going to be putting them in loose, I'm just going to keep going. Now you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. So that means you're going to go 1 in under, 1 in under, and you're going to do the 2 together. So that's your first decrease. Now remember, you've done 2 here, so you go into here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. So under 1, under 2, and then together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. And then you're going to slip stitch that last one. Now the next one, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do 3 decrease. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. And you're just going to continue that until you're almost to the last row. So 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to continue on until I have, well, the next row. After the next row, I will come back and I will show you how I'll fill it, and then I'll finish it off. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I just finished the second row, and as you can see, now would be a really good time to fill it. So I'm going to pull that off, put it in there just for safety's sake. So now I'm going to bring in my big bag of chickpeas. I'm just going to try and fill this up. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to finish this, and I'll be back when I have it full. So I have it full, but what I just found was one of the little white ones I was using. So that's the size difference. These guys are not or won't be able to fall out as easy, which is why I'm not too terribly worried. That other one is full of the little white ones. And those are just white kidney beans. So this row, you're going to knit one, or sorry, not knit, crochet one. And then you're going to decrease one, and then decrease. And I actually came across this tip this morning about closing up the bottom of your work in this, which I found that quite ironic that I found it this morning. A great way to close this up. So I'm going to try it out, see if I like it. So we're going to one, and then decrease. And that's just one right there. Now I'm going to, oh, yeah, just put that in there. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull a good tail. So I'm going to cut it over here because I know for a fact that I'm not cutting it too early. And then what they suggested, and as you can see, if I wanted to, I could probably get a little bit more, but I do want a little bit of a grab so I can attach it to the other one, because as I said, these are going to be a door stopper. So it recommended you just go, I'm going to go on that one, in and out, in and out. And I'm always willing to learn little tips and tricks about how to do things a little bit easier. I'm just going to tighten that up a second. And then tighten that up. And it looks really, really nice and tight. So that is a little tip I just found out this morning. And that way, I just noticed that that one was not properly secured. So I'm just going to... Now, what you want to do is take the two ends here and you're going to sew these two together, because you want to be able to have the two of them touching each other. So I will, you just kind of, this is why I do like these curved needles, I will admit, when doing a job like this. They actually come in really nice and handy. So, and you really want to do a really good job here securing them. I have only had one of the chenille come apart on this part, and I just had to re-sew the bottoms back together, like sew them back together because it had come apart. But that was many, many years ago. And as I said, I have one on my bedroom door. I have one on my husband's bedroom door. And his bedroom door is a pain because if it doesn't have a door stop, it likes to close. So I like to keep it open. And that way, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to darn all the way across, tie with this one. And so there you pretty much have it. I'm going to just now tie those in. Tie that end in. Tie that end in. I'm going to pause and I will bring you over to my door to show you the other one I have there. And then I will show you this one and how it works. And inevitably, these will always try to go towards the door frame. So not the open part, but the part that hinges. They always work their way back there, but all you do is just pull them back out. On a carpet, you just kind of have to, I'll show you just a second. So I'll pause and I'll show you. So as you can see here, there is my old pair. As you can see, it's very worn and beaten up. And you just put them under, just like that. So you put them under, and it keeps the door where you want it. And they, as you can see, the one's already starting to, they will migrate all the way back there. But that is my doorstop, and that is why I call them doorbells. But I hope to earn your like and subscription. I hope to hear from you any questions, comments, or concerns you have. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again.